Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Do continue your surfing of the mobile devices. Just some housekeeping items. The Minister of Education of Taiwan, Minister Pan will be coming in shortly. So please switch your cell phone to silent mode. Silent mode. That's all I ask. Okay? And of course, when the minister comes in, give him a round of warm applause. And we will be introducing all the guests. When I do that, I'm Andy, by the way, I'm your MC. When we introduce the guests, they will wave their hand and let's give them a round of warm applause. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Minister Pan from the Ministry of Education. 部长好。部长、馆长、各位长官、各位贵宾，大家好，大家早安！欢迎您莅临我们2018台湾国际科学展览会。Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to 2018 Taiwan International Science Fair. And of course, our delegations from afar, welcome to Taiwan! Thank you. That applause is for Taiwan. Okay. 我们的活动起源于1991年，那么在2002年转型，我们也邀请国外的师生来台湾进行交流。我们要选出优秀的作品来参加国际的科学展览活动，目的呢是要增强我们台湾自己科学在国际上的能见度，还有我们科学教育的一个地位。好，那么今年呢，2018年我们一共有23个国家来到台湾来参加我们的台湾国际科学展览会。近500位的参展学生，159件的作品，而这个其中呢，台湾的学生的部分，我们会选出优胜的这些队伍呢，来参加国际的科学展览，要参加美国、荷兰、加拿大、比利时等等的国际科学展览。So, our event, our Taiwan International Science Fair, started in the year 1991, and in the year 2002, we started inviting overseas foreign students to participate in our science fair because we want Taiwan's international status in the areas of science fair to be strengthened and to be recognized. So this year in 2018, we have 500 participating students and teachers. We have 159 projects from 23 countries. 我们首先给我们所有国外的学生还有师生一次热烈的掌声，好不好？ Our applause for all the international delegations. Thank you very much for coming to Taiwan. 好，紧接着呢，要为大家介绍的是我们的开场表演。And now for the opening show, ladies and gentlemen, 这是我们八家将带给我们的精彩的演出，是叫做武神将。This is Taiwan's culture. This is Taiwan's art. This is Taiwan's history. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome opening show 武神将。 cultural performances that you may see at Taiwan's temple gatherings and rituals. You're very welcome to take photos and videos and post them on social media to tell them all about Taiwan's art, history, and culture.
掌声鼓励 ，air applause for the wonderful opening performance。八家将之武神将 ，The Dance of the Gods。The gods are here to ward off evils。再次掌声，谢谢 ，Thank you。They ward off evil and they bring good fortune to all of us. Thank you very much. Thank you. 好的，在我们精彩的开场表演之后呢，紧接着 Andy 还是要借用各位您热情的掌声来欢迎我们各国学生进场。And now we want to welcome all the participating students from all over the world. 跟部长还有馆长报告，他们今天穿的这个衣服呢，是自己亲手彩绘的实验袍、实验衣。Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our student from Canada. 掌声欢迎。Wave your hand. Welcome, Canada. Wow, this is your catwalk. That's it? Okay, thank you. 紧接着我们欢迎的是关岛 Guam. With our applause. All right, there is your drawing on your lab suit. OK， 紧接着我们欢迎的是匈牙利 ，Let's welcome Hungary. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on， 我们接下来欢迎的是 Italy. Thank you very much. We are here. Grazie. 紧接着我们欢迎的是印尼 ，Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Indonesia. Amazing Indonesia. Amazing lab suit. Thank you very much. Terima kasih. Thank you. 紧接着我们欢迎的是日本 ，and now from Japan. Ohayou gozaimasu. Thank you, Japan. 万歳 OK. 紧接着我们要欢迎的是韩国 ，and now, ladies and gentlemen, from Korea. 안녕하세요. Very nice dress. 감사합니다. 紧接着我们欢迎的是澳门 ，and now from Macau. Thank you very much. 紧接着我们要欢迎的是墨西哥 ，Ladies and gentlemen. Now let us welcome Mexico. Hola. From Mexico. 好，紧接着我们要欢迎的是纽西兰 ，Ladies and gentlemen, from New Zealand. Wonderful dress. Thank you very much. Thank you. 紧接着各位长官贵宾，我们欢迎的是挪威 ，and from now, let's welcome Norway. From Norway. Thank you, Norway. Ladies and gentlemen, 紧接着我们欢迎的是菲律宾 ，and now from the Philippines, please welcome with our applause. It is always more fun in the Philippines. Philippines, welcome to Taiwan. Thank you. 紧接着我们欢迎的是俄罗斯 ，and now please welcome Russia, Russian Federation. Thank you for coming to Taiwan. Good morning. Wonderful. Spasiba. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome from Saudi Arabia. 欢迎沙特阿拉伯。Welcome to Taiwan. Thank you, Saudi Arabia. Wonderful dress. 紧接着我们欢迎的是新加坡，掌声欢迎。Singapore, welcome to Taiwan. Thank you very much. 接下来我们欢迎的是南非 ，Please welcome from South Africa. Welcome to Taiwan. Thank you very much, South Africa. 接下来我们欢迎的是瑞典 ，and now, ladies and gentlemen, from Sweden. Thank you, Sweden. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Switzerland. 掌声欢迎瑞士 from Switzerland. Thank you so much for coming to Taiwan. 紧接着我们要欢迎的是泰国 ，and now the Kingdom of Thailand. 掌声欢迎。Thank you for coming to Taiwan. Sawadee-ka. Thank you. Wonderful dress. Wonderful. Kapunka. 接下来我们要欢迎的是突尼西亚 ，and now, ladies and gentlemen, from Tunisia. Welcome, Tunisia. Welcome to Taiwan. Thank you so much. 紧接着我们要欢迎的是土耳其 ，and now from Turkey. Thank you so much for coming to Taiwan. Welcome, welcome. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the United States of America. 我们欢迎美国。Welcome to Taiwan. Thank you, USA. Thank you very much. 各位，我们现在以最热情的掌声来欢迎地主队中华民国队。Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our host, Republic of China in Taiwan. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. 好的。Dear participants, and now please stand closer together because we want to take a group photo of all of you. 我们请同学靠近一点站。 Okay, we're all one big happy family right here at Taiwan International Science Fair. 我们请大会摄影师请举手. Please, a photographer, raise your hand. Please look at the photographer. Big smile, big smile. All right. Boys and girls, how about thumbs up? Thumbs up for yourself. Thumbs up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Taiwan International Science Fair! Thank you very much. Thank you. Dear students, dear boys and girls, please take your seats. Thank you very much. 再次掌声给他们好吗？谢谢。Welcome to Taiwan. Job well done. All right, we have so many countries and we have so many guests. And now, as part of my MC job, I have to introduce our VIP guests. 紧接着我们要欢迎我们长官，请长官和大家挥手，请大家给予热情的掌声。再次为大家介绍我们教育部部长潘文忠潘部长，部长好。Ladies and gentlemen, Minister of Education, Minister Pan. 紧接着我们要欢迎的是国家实验研究院国家太空中心计划主持人张和本教授。Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Formosat 5 Program Director Dr. 张和本。紧接着我们欢迎教育部国民以及学前教育署专门委员黄淑仪专门委员。Please welcome Ministry of Education K-12 Education Administration Officer Madam 黄淑仪。紧接着我们要再为您介绍的贵宾是来自于沙特阿拉伯商务办事处代表。Please welcome representative from Saudi Arabia Trade Office Dr. Rafat Ahmad Al Sayed. Welcome, sir. 紧接着我们欢迎沙特阿拉伯教育部 Dr. Abdullah Al-Hand. Welcome, sir. Ministry of Education from Saudi Arabia. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the Society for Science and the Public. 我们欢迎美国科学服务社经理 Sharon Snyder. Madam Sharon Snyder, welcome. 再来我们欢迎的是澳门科学馆我们馆长邵汉斌馆长 Curator from Macau Science Museum, Mr. 邵汉斌 welcome. 紧接着我们欢迎台北市立建国高级中学徐建国校长 Taipei Municipal 建国 High School Principal Mr. 徐建国。紧接着我们欢迎的是台北市立立山高级中学柯明树柯校长。Please welcome Taipei Municipal Lishan High School Principal 柯明树。紧接着我们要欢迎的是印象有限公司郑金培董事长。And now, please welcome Image Company Chairman of the Board, Mr. 郑金培。紧接着我们欢迎的是英特尔台湾分公司公务事务部刘碧华刘经理 Intel Taiwan Corporate Affairs Manager Rachel Liu. Welcome. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our host. 紧接着欢迎我们主办单位我们主人，我们掌声欢迎国立台湾科学教育馆陈雪玉馆长 Our Director of National Taiwan Science Education Center, Madame Chen Xueyu. 再次掌声欢迎所有的贵宾。Our applause once again to welcome all the VIP guests. Please, thank you for coming. Thank you for your applauses. Thank you. 好，我们延续我们的掌声，来欢迎我们教育部部长潘文忠潘部长，恭请部长来为我们致开幕词。Please welcome Minister of Education, Minister Pan. 部长好。
我们陈馆长，还有今天做专题分享的我们张博士，以及来自国内外我们所有的贵宾、各位老师、各位青年朋友，大家好。
Good morning, Director Chen, Dr. Chen, and distinguished guests. Good morning, all teachers and students.
首先非常欢迎各位来参与2018台湾国际科学展览会的开幕典礼。那么这个展览会到今年为止，总共已经进入了第17年。今年来参加的国家总共有23个国家。那么经过非常激烈的竞争我们最后有159位的这样的作品来进入到我们本次的决选。
Welcome all of you to participate in our opening ceremony of Taiwan International Science Fair. It has been 17 years since we first started. Now we are receiving 240 projects this year, and there are 118 projects entering the second stage. And in the final stage, 2018, our TISF, Taiwan International Science Fair, we bring together 214 domestic students from 24 nations, areas, and 67 overseas students to compete for awards. Now,
Taiwan International Science Fair is one of the most important scientific events which gathers outstanding young scientists from all over the world. We're very proud and honored to have you.
教育部本着普及全民的科学教育理念，积极推动优质的科学教育，那么使我们的科学教育可以跟国际来做接轨。那么尤其是在即将推动的108新的课纲，更比以往来重视科学的探究跟实作。那么主要是希望让我们的青年学生可以更从探究跟实作当中来提升整个科学研究的能力。
Now, we, the Ministry of Education, we are very devoted to promoting the science education, and we take lots and lots of efforts to develop science education programs to keep our young generations, to keep them connected with the international trends. Now, in the curriculum guide of 2019, we are emphasizing the scientific exploration and practices more than usual. And now, by doing more scientific research, students could enhance their ability of scientific exploration. That's the main purpose we're encouraging students to participate in TISF. More than the exchanging of students from all around the world is what we are hoping for as well.
为了让我们的同学更有机会，不只是在科学领域来探究、培养兴趣，更希望能够跟我们的国际来做接轨，跟国际的青年朋友们一起来探索科学领域。那么当然这样的展览会的举办，就是正希望能够让我们国内外的青年朋友可以借由科学展览会的平台，互相的来交流观摩。那么这个是我们在推动这个科学展览会最主要的目的。
Now, by doing so, our research and by emphasizing our scientific education, of course, once again, the main purpose is to encourage students to participate in science fair and also to exchange with young scientists the experience and sharing of ideas of scientific education from all around the world.
我们期许来自各国的老师，还有我们的青年朋友，能够借由在台湾大家的聚会，那么能够彼此的交流科学研究的经验，也更加能够去了解不同的国家我们的彼此的文化，来拓展自己的视野。那从刚刚我们几位代表国家的同学们的这种创意的展现更可以说我们这个2018年台湾科学展览会已经为大家建立起一个非常好的交流平台。
And we hope that all of you would enjoy this week together and learn a lot from each other in terms of science knowledge and cultural exchanges. Now, I want to mention especially your scientific laboratory outfits. You have done a wonderful job, and so we're beginning to make friends already. Good on you.
今天尤其很特别我们邀请到我们台湾国家太空中心福卫5号计划的总主持人张和本博士来莅临跟我们同学们来分享福卫5号的这个整个发展的计划是台湾首次来由我们自主研发的一个计划。那这个福卫5号的卫星也在2017年8月25号正式在美国的加州发射升空。那么希望借由张博士的分享，也引领各位青年朋友，我们一起迈向太空。
This morning, we are so very honored to have invited the director of Formosat 5 program, this is Dr. Zhang, to share with us the result of the development of Formosa 5. This is a remote sensing satellite, and in fact, it is the first satellite independently developed and made here in Taiwan. It was launched last year, 2017, August 25th in California, and it is indeed a great step for Taiwan's space technology.
我们期待未来在座的年轻朋友们能够再接再厉，在科学研究的成绩上面可以不断的日益精进更上一层楼。那也非常期待我们来自国外的朋友也能够利用在台湾的这些时间，能够对台湾有更深入的了解。我也相信我们的同学一定会做到最好的接待也相信也因为大家的介绍，会让世界所有的青年朋友看到我们台湾。也谢谢我们这一次有非常多的 企业来共襄盛举，为我们国内外的青年创造这么好的一个机会，特别感谢。
I believe you'll learn a lot from today's lecture, and of course, welcome to Taiwan, and we believe you'll learn a lot from each other, including from our Dr. Zhang, our keynote speaker, and many thanks to our sponsors and to the participating staff, which has made this wonderful event possible.
最后，祝福各位快乐健康，谢谢大家。
谢谢我们部长 ，Thank you, says Minister Pan. Thank you to all of you, and best wishes to all of you. 恭请部长请入座，谢谢部长给我们的期许勉励。Thank you, Minister Pan, for the wonderful opening speech. 各位，紧接着我们以热情掌声来欢迎我们主人，也就是我们国立台湾科学教育馆陈馆长陈雪玉陈馆长。Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our host, Director of National Taiwan Science Education Center, Madame Chen Shui-Yu, our Director.
Good morning, Mr. Pan, Dr. Zhang, Academic Dean, Principal Xu, Embassy Representatives, Director Saul, distinguished guests, and all participants. First, I want to thank Ministry of Education. Minister Pan gave us a motivational speech. Thank you for the encouragement and the inspiration to all of us. It has been about almost 2 decades since Taiwan International Science Fair, TISF, diverted from National Primary High School Science Fair. With the cumulative results of science research, we selected outstanding projects and the students from this platform to calculate them to stay on the world stage and to exchange with other remarkable young scientists from the world. At this time of year, the best high school students from the world gather here to share their research results. And this year, we gathered 485 participants, 159 projects, and 23 countries in total. The numbers of participating countries, projects, and participants have stable growing over the past few years. On behalf of the National Taiwan Science Education Center, I hereby express my sincerely welcome all of you. The success of TISF is not only results from the support of school teachers and the principals, also the long-time sponsorship from Intel Corporation, TSMC Education and Cultural Foundation, KT Lee Foundation, Image Model Company Limited, YS Educational Foundation, and the GFC Foundation. Especially thanks to all the enthusiastic enterprises. From the report of the future of job issued by World Economy Forum 2016, the potential 2 million new jobs trends absolutely turns in the STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics field in the future 5 years. And many countries have undertaken significant efforts to increase the amount of STEM graduates produced by their national educational systems. Nowadays, as social comparison becomes more and more complicated, knowledge itself no longer has sufficient value. The purpose of education proportion is to evolve from simply hard knowledge to able students to practice by learning and solve problems. On the other hand, cross-functional skills include social skills, system skills, complex problem-solving skills, resource management skills, and technology skills are more important than basic skills. In addition, we added another skill to STEM, which is art. 2018 TISF features on STEAM as our theme. We hope all students meet the future skills requirements. Therefore, we invited the foremost 5 program Dr.张和本to share his experiences, coordinate with the team and how he faced the challenges. The great deal of science and technology kept rolling. The abundance of science knowledge are vast and endless, and the new challenges appear in very new era. 2019 AI, artificial intelligence development, step forward. Robots have been able to interact with human interaction, but also have the opportunity to self-learning. What will be the science and technology development in 2018? Let us participate in the immediate future. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, Madam Chen, our host, Director of National Taiwan Science Education Center. 谢谢我们馆长，恭请馆长请入座。再次掌声，谢谢我们国立台湾科学教育馆馆长陈雪玉陈馆长，我们主办单位，我们主人。好的，各位长官，各位贵宾，紧接着呢，要进行的是我们台湾科学展每年1年1度的精彩的分享。事实上，这个分享呢，自2009年开始，这部分的分享我们请到创意大师来分享他们的研究还有学习过程。好的，这部分首先跟大家报告一下我们的背景资料。那么2017年8月份，我们台湾有一项非常伟大的成就，那就是卫福5号遥测卫星成功的发射了，也成功的目前正在天空上来运作，这堪称是我们国内太空发展的一个壮举。卫福5号是我们台湾首次自主研发完成的卫星，那么每天呢，从天空上720公里处来飞过台湾，拍摄大面积的照片。那么这项计划呢，我们张博士说，卫福5号或许对世界太空发展是一小步，但是对我们台湾却是一大步。那么今天我们邀请到的主讲人，主讲的主题就是 Space Program at National Space Organization。我们掌声欢迎我们福卫5号，我们张和本张博士，掌声欢迎。Ladies and gentlemen, foremost at 5, Program Director Dr. 张和本，掌声欢迎国家太空中心福卫5号计划总主持人张和本张博士，博士好。
Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much, our Minister Gilpan, and also the Director Chen, and all the honorary guests from all over the world. Okay, my name is Hopen Chen, and I want to spend some time to share with you, our past experience, and especially on the former SAT-5 satellite program, which is under my management responsibility. Okay, if we have finished anything good, that belongs to my team. But if anything good needs to be blamed on, that's me. Okay. All right. I wanted to welcome you, and you, and you, every one of you, get to Taiwan. What a beautiful island, the Formosa. Okay. And this is the view from the International Space Station. And I know some of you from Japan, and some of you from Korea. Okay, and this is the view from the space, the night, the city view, at night, okay? And it's really beautiful. Here, I want you to point out something, in Pyongyang, during the night, they just use a small amount of the energy, okay? The thanks you should go to them. Okay, they save a lot of energy for us, okay? All right, Pyongyang. This is how much they used at night, you know. It's very tiny. It's so different. Okay, so I think we need to save more energy. I believe so, okay. All right, I want to share with you the space programs at the National Space Organization. It is good to be here. I hope you feel the same way as I am feeling now. Okay, it is good to be here. It's good to be on top of the mountain. You can see far, and you can imagine whatever you want to do for your future. I remember if you are the students of the Bible, remember one day Jesus took his disciples, John, James, and also Peter, to the mountaintop. And Jesus transfigured into bright light, you know. And Peter said, it's good for us to be here. Today, I feel very good to be here. I hope you feel the same way. Do you feel the same way? All right, so I want to share with you a little bit about what is the space. Does anyone can tell me what is space? We know every country have their airspace, right? I cannot just send something, fly over the airspace of United States without telling them I'm coming. But this space, the general definition is above 100 kilometers, and there's nobody's territory. You can fly that high to anywhere, any place you want to go. So that is the space. It's simple enough, right? Okay, and what is a satellite? The Earth has a biggest satellite. It's called Moon. However, human beings made a lot of the satellites for different purposes into the Earth orbit. Who is using these satellites? You and you and you, including myself. We almost use it daily. Several of them, many of them. And through the satellites, we are connected to each other. So very fast, I can send something through the internet and to different countries, through lines, through telephone, through anything, okay? So we use the satellites a lot, okay? And I also want to share with you the NSPO space program. NSPO is a non-profit organization, okay? And we use a lot of taxpayers' money, okay? It's our responsibility to keep you informed and share with our international friends. You see, God created this universe, put all these planets in that location. He has a very good plan to do so. Okay, and the whole human being get to put some object into the orbit, and God get to maintain it over there, you know, for us. There are some very, you know, famous people in the history. The first one I want to mention is the Tycho Brahe. The Tycho, he's a noble Danish man, mathematician and astronomer. He's famous for his very accurate, comprehensive planetary observations. He recorded the positions of these so many stars precisely before the telescope time. Because what he did, he was the mentor of Kepler. So he has a very detailed notebook about these planets and the stars. And he handed over to his student, Kepler. And Kepler just based on those informations and end up with 3 laws. The laws of the planetary motion. So you can see Kepler and Tycho, they all have their very special talent. And all our talents get put together, we can make something very magnificent happen. So these are the first law. You know, I think everybody, most of people are very familiar with these 3 laws. The third law was, can use this equation to solve one of the questions in our recent SA type exam, okay, or what we call the 测验，升大学的一个测验。Okay, in there, there's one question you mentioned about Formosat 5. The question is very simple. The Formosat 5 is flying at a 720 kilometers orbit altitude. And the period for 1 rev is 100 minutes or so. And the question was, if we wanted to send someone in the space to fly 800 minutes as the whole rev time period, what is the altitude we need to put that stuff in? You can use this formula to solve it. Okay, so that is the Kepler's third law. I think everyone, studied Kepler's law in the high school. So, and then we come to the Isaac Newton, Sir Isaac Newton. He said, if I have been further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. The giants like Kepler, like Tycho, okay? And we can stand on the shoulder of these giants and to deep even further, okay? So because of this gravitational law, and then he laid the basis of these motions, equation of motion and the Newton's second law, etc., etc. Okay. Let's take a look. When was the first satellite launched? The first satellite, the Sputnik, was launched by USSR back in 1957. I think most of the people here were born, after the 1957. So this satellite stayed in orbit for 21 days to check out some of the radio communication signals, and only 84 kilograms. And right after the first satellite, about 4 months later, United States launched its first satellite. And that was the time we saw these very strong competitions between the USSR and the United States, also called maybe the Cold War between those two countries. And these 3 gentlemen are the key person responsible for this satellite program. And I'm not quite familiar with Dr. von Braun himself, okay, but he used to live in Huntsville, Alabama, in the United States. It's very close to the Army Redstone Arsenal base. And I was there for a few years to work for the NASA's support contractor over Huntsville, Alabama. And there's another professor, Van Allen, University of Iowa. He's very famous because you see, we named this radiation belt of the Earth after his name. So this is a very interesting story. But anyway, after the Explorer number 1, there's number 2, number 3, etc., okay? Then let's come to this moment. Human landed on the moon. And this happened in 1969. And I know some of you probably still remember the President John F. Kennedy made his very famous moon speech back in 1962. And he said he committed his country to land people on the moon before that decade was out. They did it. And I believe the Apollo program is a very important program to put the United States becomes the leading countries in this world. The technology, a lot of good technology get developed from this Apollo 11 program. This chart can give you a feeling, how much money people or countries spend on the space program. This is the civilian space expenditure only. And based on 2014's data, the year of 2014's data is $42.4 billion. So almost half of it was United States budget, okay? And here is Taiwan. Back in 2000, only about 20 countries have the space activities. But by that time, 2014, it's over 80 countries have the space activity. So it's getting, by now, I'm pretty sure it's very close to 100 countries in the world, all involved in these space activities. And Taiwan, as a small country, we are the 36 in terms of the budget, of this whole world. And United States and Russia are the main player of these the space expenditure. And this gives you a feeling about, the satellites based on their functions, You can break it into commercial communication up to 35% is very significant, and Earth observation, and also, other navigation and military civilians purpose. So Formosat 5 is one of the Earth observation satellites, okay? All right. So back then, this is by end of the 2016, there are 1,459 satellites, operational satellites in orbit. Okay, I think these won't count those satellites, becomes malfunctions, become the space debris. Okay, they didn't count those. And this is by last year, end of the August, there's 1,738 satellites, operational satellites in orbit. Okay, so compare with the previous one, end of the 2016, we have about 280 more satellites. And most of them are in the low Earth orbit, okay? And this is by the orbit, the low Earth orbit or the medium or the geosynchronous orbit. Most of these are the telecommunication satellites. And in terms of the countries, United States, among 1,738 satellites, they have 800, more than 800 satellites, okay? And the other countries, it's about 600. So as you can see, the United States and China and Russia, these are the countries leading all these efforts. And then they put a lot of money into it too. And this gives you a feeling, where are all these satellites orbiting in the Earth orbit? Okay, and this is the, 300, 400, 600 kilometers above the Earth, et cetera, So most of the satellites, is the 700 and 800. Those are what we call the low Earth orbit. And the Formosat 5 is orbiting at 720 kilometers. And Formosat 2 is orbiting at 890 kilometers above the Earth. Okay. Now, let's think about this space debris. Since the first satellite, we have been littering the space around the Earth with this debris. Right now, there is about almost 20,000 debris, tracked debris, the pieces of the debris in the Earth orbit. This is above 10 centimeters, the size, bigger than 10 centimeters. If we are counting for the less than 10 centimeters, like, between 1 and 5 centimeters, we have about 750,000 of the debris. So, it's orbiting the Earth's space. We leave these debris in the space, and I would challenge you, the young people here today, take the responsibility to clean it up. I know this is very challenging, but I hope some of you can come up with a very smart idea, and then we can clean up the space. Okay. This chart tells you how could all these debris get accumulated. 2007, China tried to use their missile to shoot down their malfunctioning satellite. They did. Because of that, they created another 2,000 pieces of debris. And this is a collision accident in 2009. That one created another 1,000 pieces. So this is become a very important and very urgent thing to clean up the space. So let's try our best. Let's use our talent, and then to invent some way we can clean it up. Now, I would like to share with you, the NSPO, the National Space Organization. It was established back in 1991. I believe that is the same as this place, your efforts here back in 1991. Back then we called the National Space Program Office. And in 2003, it became one of the 11 centers under the NARL, the National Applied Research Laboratories. Okay, and the National Applied Research Laboratories under the Ministry of the Science and Technology, what we call the MOST. So NSPO is under the MOST, under the NARL. Okay. The NSPO is located in Hsinchu area, which is about 1 hour from here. Okay. If you have some time, you're welcome to visit us. Okay, and we can show it to you. Actually, there are 7 satellites sitting in our high bay right now. That's part of the Formosa 7. And those 6 satellites will be launched in the 3rd quarter of this year by Falcon Heavy. The Falcon Heavy is a very famous launch vehicle, especially in the past 10 years. 10 years ago, they even cannot find a launch site in the United States. But United States asked them to launch their satellite from the middle of the Pacific Ocean. But now they become a very important player, not only in California, Vandenberg Air Force, but in Cape Canaveral. I think you all heard about that. The Falcon Heavy, the first demonstration flight will happen next week. Next week. In the coming, will be in the February 6th or February 7th. Okay. That will be another big step for the human being. Okay, they are not only going to test that one. The payload will be Elon Musk, the Model 3 electrical cars. That will be his only payload. Okay. The cost of the Falcon Heavy will be $90 million, and that car is about 100,000. Okay, will be very interesting. So let's wait and see. The NSPO with the very simple vision, we want to become a center of the innovation and the excellence for the space technology, and also use Taiwan's strength, and would like to contribute to the world community. And with the mission is to establish our domestic space technology and fulfill the pronounced societal impact. And of course, we will always promote, the space science research. Okay. And basically, this is line up with the goal of the Formoset 5 program. NSPO has some long-term plans. We finished the first two phases of the plan, almost. The first phase is from 1991 through 2003, in blue here. And in pink, that was our second phase of the long-term plan. Each plan has about 15 years. They might overlap 1 or 2 years. So the second phase will be finished in 2018. That is this year. So now we are working on our third phase. Our third phase will become more challenging. We're still working on it, okay? But anyway, this chart tells you, some of the stuff, how we started, and then we built up our own integration test facility, and then have the Formoset 1 launched. And then Formoset 2 launched in 2004. Formoset 3 with 6 small satellites in 2006. And Formoset 5 started in 2009, and it got launched in 2017. Okay, it's a long time, as you can see. But because of the launch vehicle, the Formoset 5's launch get delayed a couple times. Falcon 9, get exploded a couple times. So how we operate at NSPO? I know that we have a lot of young people here, and I want to share with you so you can find some reason you can come to join us, okay, to join our efforts. We want to develop the technology and to deliver our mission goals. And so we have the facility, we have the mission operations center, we have the data processing center, and we all have all kinds of the R&D labs at the NSPO. And then to find out our domestic need, users' need, and through our domestic partners' efforts and all international corporations, we deliver the satellites. And then we have different products, like remote sensing image, and also science data, okay? And the NSPO's science data, we have an open policy, open data policy. We freely share with all the scientists in the world, okay? But for the image data, images, we do collect a little bit of money, because it costs us a lot of money to get it. So far, we have 4 successful missions at NSPO, 1, 2, 3, and 5. And you might ask why we don't have Formoset 4. If you go to the visit some of the hospitals, they don't have the 4th floor because we don't like number 4. So I want to use this chart to share with you, the Formoset 1, 2, 3 missions, Formoset 1, it lasted about 5 years. On board, there are 3 scientific payloads. And the Formosat 2 was launched in 2004, and it is decommissioned in 2016, August. Okay, and in addition to remote sensing payload, and also that have a science payload, get to catch the sprites and the upper atmosphere lightning. So the science payload there. And the Formosat 3 basically is a constellation, has 6 satellites, and they to collect the information, use the GPS signals, radio occultation. The human is so smart, because of the bending of the GPS signals, they can figure out what is the temperature, what is the parameters of the atmosphere. And then they can plug this into the weather prediction model, and then do the better weather prediction. This is the image from the Formosat 2. The Formosat 2 is a quite famous satellite. It's made by a French company. And then this is the Katrina hurricane. And as you can see, the broken levee here back in, right after this hurricane hit the land. And we provide this kind of information freely to any disaster events, to the world. And this is California's wildfire back in 2007. As a matter of fact, Formosat 5, recently we also took some images of the California fire recently, and including there's a oil pollution, in the East Ocean recently, but we haven't released all those data yet. This is a Sichuan's earthquake back in 2008, and you can see the image before and the image after. And this helps the people on the ground, to rush to these disaster areas, how to coordinate people and the resources to do the rescue efforts. And this is Japan's earthquake. It was back in 2011. And for these, we have some good images before the tsunami hit and after the tsunami hit. And we provide quite a bit of this kind of information to Japan's organization. And this, as you can see, the tsunami, hit the ground, hit the land, cover a very big area, And this gives us how significant, how big the area the tsunami hit. So I call this a Formosat 2, the scoreboard. It covers almost 10 times of the global land surface. And there's so many our domestic users, and also we support global disaster relief. And yes, we did receive some money because of the image. Formosat 5 is a follow-on program of Formosat 2. They have very good, it's a very gorgeous record. So that put additional pressure on the Formosat 5 team. And this is the Formosat 3. The Formosat 3, as I say, is a 6 small satellites, and it collects the radio occultation information, can be used for the weather prediction, and has been called as the most accurate thermometer in space. Based on some of these studies, they found out they use the GPS radio occultation. The GPS radio occultation, can improve the weather prediction by correcting the errors, up to about 10% or so. So this is very significant. It's very cheap satellites, but it contribute a lot. And because of the success of these Formosat 3, The United States NOAA and Air Force, they have a follow-on program with NSPO. It's called Formosat 7, okay? And they wanted to make that become an operational satellite constellation, up to 12 satellites. But the United States, because short of the budget, we've finished 6 of them so far, okay? And as I mentioned earlier, the 6 satellites now is sitting in our high bay, in our clean room. It's ready for launch in the fall of this year. Could you hit the start button for me, please? Okay, these, the Morocco is a very severe typhoon back in 2009. And it brought a lot of the damage to this island. And this gives you some kind of comparison, Use the GPS data, how the trajectory of the typhoon can be improved, the prediction of the trajectory. The pink one is with the GPS data, and the yellow one is without the GPS data. And those are the GPS data for this is Formosat 3's data, the green spots, there are just very few of them. But the Formosat 7 can give us about 4 or 5 times of these data points. And I think people are eager to see the Formosat data, Formosat 7's data, to improve. Especially if Taiwan, we have average about 3.4, 3.5 the severe typhoons each year. And it brings us a lot of damages. So we are eager to improve our weather prediction or forecasting model. And we believe the Formosat 7 can contribute a lot. And this is the Formosat 7 I mentioned earlier. Initially, they wanted to have an operational constellation system of 12 satellites. But at least we have 6 of them. And we start with the low inclination angle first to cover the equator area, up to maybe 40 degrees or so. This is the payload on board. But this one tells you how many data points, more data points we will collect with the first set, the 6 satellites. If we have 12 satellites, including the high inclination angle, and the global coverage will be like this. And although now USA, they don't have the budget for this, but I know the private sector, they wanted to do this because this can help, they can make some money out of this. That might be why, the Congress, they didn't pass the budget for the second set. All right, so now let me take a look. So do I still have about what? Half an hour? 25 minutes, okay. Okay, the Formosat 5 is a follow-on program of the Formosat 2. And as mentioned earlier, this is the first program we independently developed these satellites. I think most of my gray hairs is because of this program. All right, but I'm so glad, after the long period of time, more than 6 years ago, we finished this one, and it got launched in August. This is how we developed this program, this development strategy. We integrate up to about 50 universities, institutes, domestic companies, and then we developed this program together. And as you can see, the NSPO responsible for the ground segment and spacecraft, and some of the key components, and the management, the system engineering, and the payloads domestically. We only have some of the components, we bought it through the foreign companies. And the launch, of course, we use Falcon 9 launch vehicle. Okay, so this is the first one we built it domestically, and it's a significant step. This is some of the key parameters for the satellite program. Each program in the beginning only start with very simple mission statements. Like Apollo program, Kennedy said, we want to go to the moon. And everyone knows where the moon is. Every night, almost every night, you can see it. But how to get there? The same thing, we have very simple mission statement, give it to the NSPO. And then we went out to know the domestic users, find out their need, and we put a mission requirement document together. Every requirement costs money. So we start with our mission statement, and then we list out all the requirements and the payloads, and then develop it from there. I know you probably have heard the systems engineering. Yes, this is a typical system engineering. So we start with the requirement flow down to the component, and then we build up our components and integrate up to the system. So that is the V-shaped system engineering practice. And so FormaSat 5, in terms of the capability or the resolution, is almost identical to the FormaSat 2. Although the MS, the color resolution, our resolution is better than the FormaSat 2. But the only thing different is this is domestically built. 我叫这个叫做里外外都充满了台湾的味道 ，OK， 台湾味 ，OK。So in terms of the resolution, 2 meter for the panchromatic is not very good. I know a lot of the satellite there can give you the sub-meter resolution, but our next one, we're looking into the sub-meter resolution satellite. Okay, and it's on its way. Should be part of our third phase. And this is we also have a science payload on board. It was developed by the National Center University. It's the state of the art of this AIP. They collect at the high sampling rate and wide the spatial scales. So, and not long ago, they have a press conference recently. And yes, they are happy with the data they have seen so far. The program's achievement, I use this chart to summarize, the key components are made in Taiwan. And both payloads, remote sensing instrument payload and also science payload, also made in Taiwan, 100%. And we also use this program as the platform, to develop our on-ground capability, including the operation and also the image processing. They all, heavily use the software, and then we develop this in-house. These are some of the key components. Onboard computer, the power control distribution unit, and the flight software, and also CMOS sensor, and the payload electronic unit, the payload mirror and telescope, bandpass filter, etc., etc. And you see, this is a very aggressive program to me. With my background, I have some good experience over the Boeing company with their satellite division. This is a big leap. It's a big step. Now, they are functioning well in the Earth's orbit right now. We launched these from Vandenberg Air Force Base in Long Park area in California. back in the August or so. We shipped all our stuff, including the satellites, with a cargo 747 airplane to the Los Angeles International Airport. And then we used the truck to ride the stuff to the Vandenberg. That was in July 19th. And you see in the launch site, everything costs money. So we have very tight schedule. We process everything and check out our stuff. Let me share with you a little story. Right after our staff reached the SpaceX facility, we unpack it, and then we check our so-called comprehensive performance test. And during the test, we found out when we send our command to our satellite, it didn't respond back. So our people could look into it. Is there anything wrong with our satellites or something wrong with our test facility? Like mechanical engineering, the test aids or the electrical, we call the ground support equipment. And we found out there was something wrong with our ground support equipment. That's our first relief. The satellite seems okay. And so we narrow in to find out there's one board in the ground support equipment didn't work well. So, and we also know that the board can make it by the United States company on the East Coast. So we make a phone call to them. And they say they don't make that kind of the board anymore. It's obsolete. So then we check back to the NSPO, try to find out, do we have any other boards in-house? Fortunately, you'll find another 2 pieces of it. So we sent these 2 pieces to the Vandenberg Air Force Base again. It took us about 3 or 4 days, and we passed that test. So under that kind of situation, I know everybody will be very tight, and some people might lose their temper. But we need to stay calm and then sit down together, put our brain together, and figure out what to do. I'm pretty sure most of us, no matter what kind of problem, as long as we put our brain together, we can solve it. I'm very confident. We can do it, you can do it. So this is the launch site. This is the launch site here. Our launch control center is about 10 kilometers away, okay? And our observation team, they stay these here observation areas. And we have about 300 or 400 people pay attention to this event back then. We appreciate that. But I was in the control center, we only have few of us in there. This is our team inside the SpaceX high bay. These are the fairings. We're going to put these tiny satellites inside the fairing. When we were doing this integration test, we have a conversation with the SpaceX team. And our people asked them, hey, this is our camera, okay? This is the back side of the camera. The camera is supposed to, as you can see, there's the north side. Here's east side, west side, south side, north side. And one of the engineers, asked their integration manager, say, hey, our mirror is going to point into the east side, right? They say, no, will be the west side. So that just stirred up, a lot of good discussions. And it turns out, their integration team used the wrong chart, okay, used the out-of-date chart. But anyway, there's some of these kind of interesting things, you could just stop all your activities, but I'm so glad we figured that out in time. This is the satellite inside fairing, the huge fairing. Falcon 9, you can launch about 6,000 kilograms. Our satellite is only 500. And you might ask, why we wanted to use this huge thing to launch our small satellite. This is part of our contract. The SpaceX, they were developing a smaller launch vehicles called the SpaceX Falcon 1E. But later on, they decided to quit that one. So they used this huge launch vehicle to launch our small satellite. Okay. The satellite, the least price for this is about 60 million. And NSPO paid 23 million. This is a small team inside your launch control center. When we see the satellite separate from the launch vehicle, it was very touching. It was a touching moment. I think to carry the satellite to the orbit, most of credit should go to the SpaceX. However, when we see a very clean separation, that tells me all our interface design, mechanical and electrical, works properly. So that means a lot to us. This is the former Set-5 standing by to launch on the launch site. Okay, I have one short film, about 1.5 minutes, so please go watch very carefully, okay? Thank you very much. Okay, because of the successful separation, so our satellite, we check out everything on board, and the science payload is working very well. And we also have this image taker. And so far, we have taken more than 2,000 sets of the images over the world. This was the first image taken by the former Set-5. It's near the San Francisco area. It's back in September 8th. It was about 2 weeks after its launch. So this is a color image. And this is San Francisco airport, black and white. And this is the color. I know you have read some information on the news. Satellite, the former Sat-5 has some problem, the defocus problem. Yes, we have that problem. In other words, the one data point on the ground, it will become a circle because of the defocus. But we found a deconvolution technique can recover the image. And this is the image you have. Now you saw here, you see here is the after the deconvolution process, processing. And I think this is good for the disaster relief or the monitor, the land, et cetera, give the civilian usage. And this is the Southern France area, white and color. And this is the Lantou area in Taiwan. I think there's a little dam here with just a small amount of the water. And this is the Taipei, Taiwan. And this is the former Sat-5 has a very special capability we call the smart agility. Most of the satellites, they took the image along the ground track, along its path. However, we have the onboard capability, you can maneuver the spacecraft during the image taken, they can along a certain, for example, for this case, it's along the longitude direction, okay? Of course, it has its capability, you cannot take, for example, along the equator, okay, cannot be done. But this is the a small feature, your former Sat-5 has. And this is the comparison, compared with the Google Earth, this area. And it looks pretty good. And as I mentioned earlier, the science community seems to enjoy the data from the AIP. And this was some of the data. I'm not a scientist, but they're happy with it. They, just came out as they expected. And we have, so because of the former Sat-5 and the follow-on efforts, we built up some of the heritage. We have 500 kilogram bus, or the 300 kilogram bus. And we also have the sounding rocket and all some of the important key components and the payloads. And we have end-to-end capability in-house right now, after we finish the former Sat-5. So what matters most? It's a team. I think team spirit is very important. I mentioned this to my team a few times. I say we can argue, we can fight, but tomorrow we need to work together. I think this is so different from, as a professor in school, usually a professor is as big, as important as the president of the university. The two very famous professors, they can next to each other, their room, but they can be no communication, no talk to each other. But to do a satellite program, you must have the team spirit. If you're working on your structure, you say, I want to make it as strong as it can be. No, come too heavy. So, and then you say, oh, I want you to use this much of the power. No, we only have limited power on board. So we need to do a lot of the integrations, or you can say the argument. But because of doing a satellite program, I feel can make you become a better person. My blood is O type. Maybe because of my wife, I have a good wife, and because I'm working on a satellite program. So I can keep my temper, put it behind. This is good experience. I hope you can have the same experience too. So the system engineering is a very important thing, like an orchestra to I'm a conductor of the orchestra. They need to coordinate with propulsion, antenna structure, attitude control, power and the thermal subsystem, etc., etc. And then come up with a good common solution. Especially the interface management. When this happened, it's too late. So the engineering, system engineering practice, get to take care of all the interfaces, not only inside of your component, but also outside of your subsystem. And then you will have much more confidence, that your satellite would fly the way it is. So I mentioned this earlier, the third phase is from 2019 through 2033. And that is something we're working on right now. It should get finalized this year pretty soon. And these are some of the future potential missions. Kind of extension from the former the remote sensing satellites and also scientific satellite and the weather satellites and for the future. And I'm not going to go through all of these, just list it out for your reference. So I have some conclusion, the concluding remarks. I think we have proved to the world NSPO Taiwan can independently develop a satellite like a remote sensing satellite. Okay, and we are using Taiwan's strength. Our sensor, we use a CMOS sensor, not the CCD sensor. And the CMOS technology in Taiwan is almost the pioneer of this world, but they are most of the applications is the commercial application, but this is the first time that we make it to the space application, the CMOS sensor. All right. Last chart. I want to share this with you. I just extracted from President John F. Kennedy's speech, his moon speech back in 1962. We shall send to the moon, which is about 240,000 miles away. A giant rocket more than 300 feet tall. That's Saturn V. Okay. And they use the new materials. And send it, they experience the heat and the stress never experienced before. The precision better than the best watch at that time to an unknown celestial body, which is moon, then return it safely. And causing the heat, is about half temperature of sun. And to overcome all this, he said, do all this, do it right, and do it first before the decade is out. Of course, this is kind of competition between the Russia, USSR, and the United States. And at the end, he said, we must be bold. This is the country's commitment. I hope when you finish this science fair, and you can remember this, be bold. The future belongs to you, the younger generations. Okay, so be bold, go for it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Director Zhang. Thank you, Director Zhang, our Formosat 5 Program Director. Director Zhang, we need you to stay for a few questions. I believe we have more than a few questions. Do we? 各位同学，这是我们福卫5号我们总计划主持人，机会非常难得。您要发问的话，赶紧发问。您举手的话，我们把麦跑过去给您。再次掌声给我们张教授，谢谢。张博士 ，Please
The floor is now open. Please state your name, your affiliation, your question, and of course your question.
For those, ask questions, if your answer is correct, okay. Oh no, if I couldn't answer it, I will bring it back home, and give you the answer. Just give me your email. And but I will have some question for you too, questions. If you answer correct, I have some souvenir for you, okay.
Wow, okay, come on. Boys and girls, questions? Dr. Zhang is reaching for his souvenirs now. Please state your name, your affiliation, your question.
Hello, my name is Abdulaziz Shahrani. I'm from Saudi Arabia. Thank you for your lecture. It's really amazing lecture. It's really useful. I learned from a lot of things about physics and astronomy, from the Kepler's laws until the foremost satellites. So thank you so much. But I have a question. I would like to ask you about what do you think as a scientist about the people who adopt the reality of the landing on the moon?
The last part, please, again.
So what do you think as a scientist about the people who adopt the reality of landing on the moon?
Okay. This is a very good question. As a matter of fact, my niece, she is at her early 30s. She asked me the same question. She said, she has found a lot of things, and it seems good. Those information can indicate the landing on the moon is cheating. It's not true. Okay. Well, I think, you should believe a lot of people, even in this room, we have experienced that part of the time. You have some doubt in your mind?
No, I believe of the landing on the moon.
Okay.
From the Apollo missions.
All right.
But some of my friends ask me, that's not real. How do you believe that? And how would you prove it?
Okay, well, you see, you can get on the internet and you can see all of these films, etc., okay. And when I was in the high school, a human being land on the moon, and Neil Armstrong, he's the first person to step on the moon. So when my niece sent me this question, I told her, forget about it, no doubt. There's no doubt at all. But later on, she sent me more information, more, seems they still have the doubt in her mind. You see, there's no reason, why the United States or NASA wanted to put the fake information or fake news on the press, okay? And so, let me share with you another story, okay? Before I can feel there's a God, I couldn't. Before that point, I didn't believe there was a God. And there's a couple people came to help me. I asked them, how do you know there's a God? But this was a lady, she didn't reach into his pocket and then show to me, say, you see, it's something your God gave to me. Her advice to me was, you keep on coming to back then it's the gospel meetings. Okay. When I read the Bible, I just like a storybook. But, after attending those gospel meetings, it became a living book to me. I found out, I was in there. That person, just my own situations. I just like it's like here. The short person who need to make the extra effort to climb up on top of the tree to see the Jesus. So I think you read more, okay, and at the end, you are going to prove all those are the fact. Would you please encourage your friends to do so? Would you? Okay, okay. All right. And,
We have time for more questions.
all right, sure.
Oh, we have a hand raised there, please. Your name, your affiliation, your question. Thank you.
Okay, I'm currently grade 3 at the high school, Django, and my name is Ye Guanting. And I'm just curious, based on the development phase, chronicle development phase of the Formosa 5, I believe at the start of the development, SpaceX haven't had its success and it's not a viable option. And I'm just curious, what's your plan for the rocket before SpaceX success, and what makes you still trust this civilian company after several failed tests, rather than some like government or military service?
All right.
Thank you.
I think the question was, is the SpaceX, they went through, as I mentioned earlier, before it successfully launched the Formosa 5, there was 2 failures. Okay. One, during their test, and just set on fire. The other one is launch it and then didn't make it. Okay. Those are the huge news to us. Okay. So we watch their investigation report, we contact them, and then we also look into whether there's any other possibilities to launch our satellite. Okay. So, but at the end, we decided to wait. Okay. First of all, we have very good deal. We spent $23 million to launch by this $60 million launch vehicle. Okay, and there are some other good things to be considered. If we want to start with another procurement, it takes some time too. Okay, it's not easy, because you say you can target to B and then you just go there to launch. After you decide to switch your launch vehicle, you need to check out your couple load analysis. A lot of analysis you need to be done. And all of these, separation, the separation ring, separation test has been done. Everything has been done. So, and we finally make the decision, say we should stay with it. Okay. Let me share this little story with you, okay? Right after we launched successfully, we had a dinner together. The SpaceX vice president, he was my counterpart. He said a few words. He said he was very impressed by the patient skill I have. He said, he told the audience, he wrote millions of the emails to me. Okay, and that's true. It was very tough situation, okay, very tough negotiation. And when I stood up, I told the audience, I say, within the 1 million emails, we only talked about one thing. When are you going to launch our satellite? Okay, so it's a tough decision, but I know you are correct. As a matter of fact, when they decided to launch the Formosa 5, we have co-passengers, a bunch of them, Cupid satellite, smaller satellite. And a lot of them, they couldn't wait. So they go for some others. But I think our decision, I would say yes, let people wait for another a year or so, or even 18 months or so. But I think I would say it's worth it. Thank you.
Thank you. So it was well worth the wait. Okay. Moving on, question 3, waiting. Yes, okay, please. Oh, okay. You've got the mic already, so you're next, okay? You're next.
Good morning. Thank you for a nice lecture. I'm Julia from Moscow, and I have a question about microsatellites. What will be the functions of 8 microsatellites constellations above Taiwan?
Okay. So are you talking about you are not talking about the Formosat 7, right?
Yeah.
You are talking about the microsat.
About constellations of 8.
Okay,
satellites.
so that's the Formosat 7? Our Formosat 7, right? Okay, Formosat 7, we have 6 satellites. Okay, they are ready for launch. And NSPO is responsible, is still doing it, okay, the 7th one. And this will be in the constellation, you know. As a matter of fact, after the 6 satellites get launched, it will take about 18 months or 19 months. You know, the Earth is not a perfect circular. It's an ellipse. So when the satellites are running, you know, in the orbit, they have some precession. So we use the precession effect, you know, to make these 6 satellites, they evenly distributed on the constellation. Okay. I believe it's 60 degrees between each satellites. So they can move around in the satellite. That satellite, again, you know, is trying to measure GPS radio occultation. Okay. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, it seems the scientists is so smart, they can figure out the bending angle, you know, and then they can figure out the atmosphere's atmospheric parameters can be used for the weather prediction. Okay, so that's the main purpose. Okay, and there are some other instruments on board. There are 3 satellites, 3 kinds of the payloads on board. Okay, and more or less, you know, they try to measure the parameter of the inside. I mean, in the atmosphere, like ionosphere. Yeah, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have a question standing by, right?
Okay. You ask, let me, as long as you ask questions, you know, and I will still give this to you, okay? So please
I'll give it to her. I'll give it to her.
Yes, yeah. Yes, please.
Okay, my name is Lin Wende from Taiwan, and thank you for your excellent speech. And I have a question about, is there any future plan for NSPO to launch another satellite in another planet like Mars or Pluto or something, to do further exploration in space, not just in our Earth?
Okay, I think that's a good vision. Okay, it's of course, I would say, you know, of course there's a possibility. Okay, but you know, we consider these things. Okay, decide which program to go. It depends on the society's social needs. If we find out some good reasons to go to Mars, we should join that kind of program. But also, you know, the NSPO strategies is to join the international cooperation, international programs, because these is very, very costly. Okay, it's very, very expensive. And I know NASA has contacted the NSPO for some moon missions. Okay, not the whole thing, but you know, part of it, like a moon rover. You know, so we have we can contribute to some mechanical design or something like that. Okay, but the NASA, of course, they are looking for some of the resources, you know, from other countries, including Taiwan. Okay, but our budget is not that much. Okay, but yes, it's a good vision. Okay, please keep your vision. Okay, Elon Musk, he has a vision. In the coming 50 years, he wants to build a 1 million population city on the Mars. Okay, so he has his Falcon Heavy. He has his plan. he has solar city. He has electrical cars. And he also wanted to build a bullet train from Los Angeles to San Francisco within half an hour. And he has done some of the tests. So he's a person with vision, and you are too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next question,
Okay.
and I'll pass to you your gift.
Okay.
Dr. Zhang, you named them. You named them. Which one do
Yes,
you want?
please.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my vision is not as good as you.
My name is Ye Yanchen from Jianguo High School.
I see.
And thank you for your inspiring speech and lecture. I have only one small question. What do you think will be the next giant leap of sport exploration for humankind?
Sport?
Space
Or
exploration.
space exploration? Well, you see, I think in United States, as a matter of fact, President Trump, he recently said, like, he want to go back to moon, right? I think I really believe him, okay? Although sometimes he say some words, you probably have some doubt, right? But I think he has some kind of plan. And I know there's some projects ongoing, towards that phase. That was probably will be the first step. And then you go beyond the moon and to the Mars, get to some other places. To the Mars, it takes about at least 180 days or 200 days to get there, okay? Although there's some people sign up with that kind of the trip, okay? But it's not easy, right? 6 months on your way there. And then maybe another 6 months on your way back. And you need to take care of, consider everything, in your daily life. You probably don't have your line, your cell phone anymore, but just look at outside, miles of nothing for 6 months. It's tough. People could get crazy, right? But anyway, that's, I think there's human strength, is keep on expanding. Okay, I think it will continue. Our generation will be better than my generation. Go for it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Dr. John, I was informed we have one more last question.
Okay.
Last question.
Last question. Over there? Yes, please.
Hello, sir. Thank you for a very interesting presentation. My name is Elias, and I'm from Sweden. Earlier in the presentation, you showed the chart with the bubbles representing the space budgets of different countries. And I want to ask you, what is your message to countries with smaller budgets for them to design their space budgets in order to maximize its impact on the world and society?
Yes, it seems the trend, to have the smaller satellites programs. Okay, I think that's the trend. And the smaller satellite, you can build a bunch of it, with less reliability requirement. Okay, and then you can have more redundancy. Okay, so I know there is a lot of the startup companies, try to get involved in this field, okay? Even inside Taiwan, okay, we have some startup companies, okay? They try to get involved in these, okay? You know what? Because of Formosat 5 program, the NSPO's engineers, now they are become so confident. They become so confident they want to build this and that, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, well, I told them, well, we just learned how to walk and please not just sign up for the 100-meter race yet, okay? So I can see that the knowledge, technology is expanding, okay? And it's more small satellite scale we are going to see, and I think more countries, will get involved in this kind of industry. Okay, so and your later part is later part of your question? Sorry.
No, what I was asking was like countries with budgets smaller than let's say the United States, for instance. Like, how should they keep the motivation up to keep going and pursue and to feel that their research is important, although their budget is not the biggest?
Well, yeah, I think budget is still there. Okay, you need to go fight for it. For example, for the Formosat 7, the second set of the satellites, the United States, they are very interested in these, including NOAA and the Air Force. For example, the space weather monitoring, et cetera, okay? They are really interested in these. However, I heard there's a private sectors, they push the Congress not from the government's money, because they wanted to have the private sector to take over, and then they have some commercial, the business benefit for that, okay? But I think the small satellite will become more popular and more useful, not only for the Earth observation, but also for the communication. Because the Google or these, they're talking about thousands of satellites, right? So, and I know some have real actions right now. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our applause to thank Dr. Zhang, our Formosat 5 Program Director. 非常感谢我们福卫5号总计划主持人张博士。再次掌声，谢谢张博士，谢谢。
Thank you so much.
We learned so much from you. Oh, do you have more gifts?
How about this? Let me just give this to you, okay? And then you can.
You put me in charge.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
These are the folders, okay? The plastic folders, and with our programs different.
Gift from Dr. Zhang. Once again, our applause to thank Dr. Zhang. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to our opening ceremony of Taiwan International Science Fair. 各位长官、各位贵宾，谢谢您参加我们台湾国际科学展览，我们的开幕典礼顺利圆满成功，礼成。谢谢大家，谢谢。And now, for our foreign teachers, 还有我们国内报名的老师 ，you have to go to floor 8 for the Science Education Workshop and your lunch. Now, for the students, local students and our foreign students, you have to go to B1 for the icebreaker. It's at B1, and your lunch is over there as well. Please follow our staff. Thank you very much. Thank you.